The Trojan War was fought for you, and it didn't matter then like it does right now. Like it does right now.
The first thing you're going to need is just some modelling clay, and we're going to make it out into a triangle shape. Now you want to check that the width is just right because it's going to be the very tip which is making your ear. So make sure that it isn't too wide or too thin for your ear. Once you've done that, make sure that it isn't too thin. The first batch that I did were a little bit too thin, and that can be a problem. And also, depending on who you're making these for, some people have wider ears, so you need to take that into account. And it might take a few goes to get this right, but all you have to do is make a little curve line along the very tip. I'm going to be putting a little bit of latex into a palette, and then using the very end of one of my paintbrushes to apply the latex. You do not want to apply latex with a brush. If you use a brush, you're only going to be able to use it once because the latex will destroy it. So use the end of a pen or a pencil. You can use your fingers too if you want.
Burning streets all night. Yeah, we danced all night. I sailed in 1492 to discover a world for the love of a girl like you. Oh, I found you. I built a machine.
Once the first coat is dried, I'm going to be applying a second coat, and I applied 3 to 4 coats. One little trick which will make these look a little bit more realistic is to take anything that you can use to hold modelling clay. I used a pair of tweezers, and then while it's drying I tried to get it to hang upside down. There's different ways that you can do this. What I did is I put a little bit of blue tack at the very end of the tweezers and then just propped it underneath my mirror so that while it was drying, any spare latex went straight to the end of the ear where it would look a lot more natural. You don't want the spare latex to bunch up where the latex piece would connect to your ear. It wouldn't look very natural, and we're trying to go for something which will look a little bit real and not too fake. After it's dried, you want to use HD powder. You can even use talcum powder if that's what you have to hand. And you're going to put this all over the outside of the latex, and you're also going to put it on the inside as well. Otherwise what's going to happen is as soon as you peel it off, it's going to stick together and you're going to find it very difficult to get it off. So you want to cover everything in powder. And that's how you make the elf ear tips, and they're really easy to apply as well. It's easier if you do it on someone else, so I'm going to be demonstrating it on someone else just so that you can see it slightly better. First thing you want to do is pin away the hair. Make sure that the hair isn't in the way, and then to make it a little bit easier, cut a little triangle shape on a piece of card and then just pin the back piece so that there's no hairs that can get in the way. Put a little bit of latex along the inside, or you can even use prosthetic adhesive. Wait for it to dry, and you're probably going to want to hold down the bit right at the start of the ear because it can flick up a little bit. Once that's done, you're going to take a paintbrush and cover the edges with the latex. You're going to want to do 2 or 3 coats of this, and then we're going to cover it with a concealer. If you want to make it look a lot more realistic than what I did, use a lighter concealer and then make the ends a tiny bit pink as well. Then you're going to take away the card, and that's it. That's pretty much how you make elf ears.
Before they came out, I built a machine. Let's go for a ride, race what we want and keep what we like.